think we are live. Let's let it load. Hello. Let me know if you can hear me and let me know if you can see me down in the comments. Just making sure everything's working. We're going to get started in just a second. Give us about 2 minutes and we're going to get started. Okay, I think it's working. Hi. I think I'm a little blurry. I don't know if that's me. Hang on, let's refresh. And then I'm going to pin myself to the top. But come in, say hello. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. That is just double checking on my end as well. I think we are live. Yeah, I can hear myself singing in the background. All right, so this is why a Facebook group is all you need for your business, and especially as a solopreneur. So we're going to go over a few things such as what Facebook groups can do for you, what it can be in replace of, how you can set yours up, and literally how easy it is as well. So we're going to start in 1 more minute. It is right now exactly noon my time. I'm going to give it just a second to make sure. If you can see me and hear me, put it down in the comments. And how is everyone's midday for a Thursday? It's Baby Friday. I love Baby Friday. It makes me so fucking excited. Because literally that's the end of the week. Don't really have to do anything. I can relax and chill and nap away. I mean, I can do that either way. I mean, I run my own business. I could take a break whenever I want to, but it's better. Like I like to sleep and cuddle my other half. So that's why I'm excited about that. All right, so I'm gonna give you about another 30 seconds. Oh, let me pin myself to the top of the group. If you are new here, some of you may know me in the world of podcasting. Some of you may know me from Made to Do This. Some of you may know me just personally, but my name is Jakara Davis. I am a solopreneur. I come from the world of podcasting. I have 2 podcasts, Let's Try Adulting and Project Podcast. And let me multitask and put this at the same time. But that is, podcasting is where I started in the world of creating a business. So I'm also a podcast coach and manager. So if you need help with podcasting, I'm your girl. Let me know. But in this one, this is a new adventure, but also not a new adventure, because I found that I've been doing this for the past few months, actually like coaching women more into like how to start and grow a business, just as people have been in general asking me questions. And also from people, oh geez. Okay, as general from people asking me questions, and also for me connecting with people, especially like other podcasters, and like, what are you doing in your podcast to grow your business? It's amazing. Okay, so I'm marking myself as announcements. All right, okay, I can see myself, I can hear myself. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you are watching live, put hashtag live in the comments. If you are watching the replay, hashtag replay. I know there's only about 35 of you here in the group, but we will be growing. And through this process, you're gonna see exactly like through the Facebook growth journey, if you stay in, not today, but as we continue. We have a few more lives that are coming up soon, but you're going to see the process of why a Facebook group is a lot easier than saying having something traditional like a website. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. So speaking of not having a website, if you are a solopreneur, one of the things that you have probably heard is that you need a website. And while that is true, that is not true for maybe even your first year of business, because sometimes not sometimes, you have to pay for a website. And if you don't have the money, then It's kind of hard to do that when you don't have the money. So that's why I'm an advocate for actually using Facebook groups and having that as your mini website. So no website, no problem, because you can set up everything that you need in a Facebook group and then have that to serve as your website before you start talking about creating a website. Now, I do have a website. Some of you may have seen it. I do have a website, and that's just because that I've had my website for a while now. And I've had mine for about a year. But if I didn't know any better, if I was just starting off, I would have not bought my website. I like it, and it's like $20 a month. But at the same time, I hardly ever use my website. I may update it like once a month. And is that once a month really worth the $20? To some people, it might be. To some other people, it might not be. But that's just my opinion. So if you do not have a website, no problem. Use a Facebook group. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can hack the system and use a Facebook group as your makeshift website. So also, we're going to talk about community. So this is what you also get from a Facebook group, is having community. And if you're from Women Podcast Together, that group has over 700 women, and that community is all based in podcasting. 90% are beginner podcasters where they're coming in and they don't have a podcast, but they know they want to have a podcast and they want to start a podcast. That is a group that I started in January of this past year of 2021. And now, as of today, I have 719 amazing women that are in the group. And we just did a webinar for podcasting for a beginner. We are opening Your Podcast, Your Story. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But we're in the middle of a Your Podcast, Your Story launch. So if you need help with podcasting, just DM me, but we're not going to talk about podcasting. But also from that group, I love the sense of community and that everyone is there for the same purpose. We all are podcasters. We all have problems with podcasting, whether it is finding episodes or learning how to edit, or you just have general questions or guest outreach. That has been a big one as well. But I love the community in that group because it's all centered around podcasting. That is another thing that you can find from a Facebook group, is the sense of community. So if you have a Facebook group and you're running your Facebook group, that is your community. Take care of your community. Also, what you can find from Facebook groups are connections and networking. So a few people that I have made very great connections with from my group. I have also had a few students, and I've had more clients, and I've met amazing women, beasties. I know you guys are here in the group, but this has allowed me to connect with other amazing women where we're on the same path of solopreneurship and growing our business. And we still have the same things of money mindset blocks and imposter syndrome. All of that does not go away as you are growing and starting your business. It just gets easier and also harder at the same time. It's easier because you're like, I know I can do this, and also harder because you're taking that next step into the unknown that you may not even know about. But from Facebook groups, like, I literally would have not met these women if it was not for Facebook, if it was not for them being in my group. I believe everyone I met from Beasties came through my podcasting group, except for Priscilla, because I had knew her before when we did Made to Do This. But I love the group and I love the community. And from the Beasties and a send off, we have our own little group. We talk every day. We chat. I see just now that they have been, they are sending voice messages back and forth. And I literally can't wait to get in the group. But that is also, that same energy is what I found in Facebook groups. So speaking of energy, I'm an introvert. And for those of you that know me, or you heard me say this before, so Jakara, you are not an introvert. I promise. I'm an introvert. I'm a whole fucking introvert out here. I like small crowds. I like doing small group settings. I like one-on-one coaching. But as energy-wise, what has helped me from Facebook groups as well is that I've also grown in my personality, in my personal development, in my business development. It's just me as I'm speaking out, like, I'm the type of person, I don't really like scripts. I really don't. I like to have some notes jotted down and then talk about what I'm going to talk about. That would not have been possible if I did not have a Facebook group, because also from the Facebook group, like I said, it started with podcasting, and then I went into a Facebook group. And just over these past 8 months, almost 9 months, it has brought me so much more out of my shell. I'm so much more comfortable being on video, and I want you to get here too. So this is why the Facebook group is all that you need for your business. It literally has all the things that you need to start your business, besides like going for a website and having to pay someone to set that up. Because sometimes you don't even know if that is the end product of what you want. Start with the Facebook group, test it out, see how you like it, and then we'll go from there. But energy, I match energy with my group. I love my group, and I pour so much energy into it so that when I do show up live, or when you're interacting with me or engaging or DMing me or anything, my energy is still the same unless I'm sleepy, like usually right when I wake up, and also right when I'm going to bed. It's past 10 o'clock. Just know Jakara is asleep. I may answer you, but just know Jakara is asleep. But the energy from Facebook groups has been phenomenal, and I have loved it so much. So also what you can find from your Facebook group is your ideal clients and people that you want to work with. So whether you say that they're your ideal clients, ideal people, ideal students, ideal one-on-one, whatever that you call your audience, this is a great place to gather them as well. Like I said, with Project Podcast, that stemmed, it has its own Facebook group, but that Facebook group is called Women Podcast Together. And from that Facebook group, everyone has still the similar interests of podcasting, and I don't know what to do, or I don't know what topics to do. And it's also sharing wins. Like on Wednesdays, we share our weekly wins, whether they're podcasting or not podcasting. And I love the interaction and the engagement that is with it as well. But these are your ideal, a good place to house your ideal people that you want to work with, that will be your potential clients, and that also have similar interests as you guys. Like even with podcasting, I have found so many similar interests in there, such as there's a lot of women that like to take naps. I love to take naps. The easiest ways for podcasting, like I like to lay down and podcast or walk around and podcast. Like there's so many other women that have like the same interest in it. It's like, oh, you could totally do that. I'm gonna do that. And then they tell me about it. It's like, Jakara, this was life changing. Like I literally say I'm laying down on the bed recording this podcast episode. You may hear me move and get up and whatever, but I podcast live just how the same that I would podcast, except I'm just not laying down. But the people that you have in your group definitely have a similar interest in what you are teaching, and also will maybe have a similar interest in some things that are in your life, like pets or children, or like your kids around the same age. Maybe you have a similar dog. Like I love when they share pet post in the group. I know I have presented a post and people like shared all of their dogs. They're so cute. But you also can make connections as well, and it was amazing. So also, a few things that will make the process of setting up your Facebook easier is I have a Facebook group checklist. I'm going to put it down in the comments. And this is exactly how I have set up each and every one of my Facebook groups. So right now there is Women Podcast Together. There's this one, CEO Own It. There is one for your podcast, your story. There is one for a new one for any past students or clients that have worked with me. We created our own Facebook group. And there's a few out there in the wild that I have just not archived. But all of my Facebook groups I have set up in the exact same way. So in the comments, there is my Facebook group checklist, and you can use that to set up the settings of your Facebook group. And that goes over the questions, any apps that I use, where to actually schedule your different posts. The most important things are your membership questions, because as people come in and are invited to your group, if you're inviting them, they won't go through the questions. But as people see your group, maybe other people have invited them, those questions are highly important because those start the process of your market research. So if you've heard of market research before, this is just gathering information from your clients of what they would like, what are their struggles, what are their pain points, and those questions help to ask as well. But I love the Facebook group checklist. This is literally how I set up every single group. Right now, it's like a no-brainer to me. I go in and click this, this, and this. And even if I need to update a past Facebook group, I still use the same method. The only thing that's different is the name, the description, and like the color. Like Let's Try Adulting, that is a different Facebook group, but that one I believe is green. And Women Podcast Together is pink. And then this one, See Own It, is purple. But through the checklist that is listed down in the comments, I will pin it as well. That is the number one way and the easiest way that I found to actually set up the back end of your Facebook group. So if you have a Facebook group and you download the checklist, go over it and see if your settings line up, if there's some things that you need to change. If you are looking to start a business, I would highly suggest to go ahead and start a Facebook group and use a checklist. You do not have to launch your Facebook group or announce it to the world until you're ready. But I would highly say to have a Facebook group, even if you have a website, have it as a sense of community so you can talk to your people. Excuse me, I take in so much air. Do this when I podcast too. I take in so much air that I end up like burping. And I know it's not attractive here, but at the same time, it happens. So we're all human here. But the Facebook group checklist it's amazing. It's phenomenal. And the last few women that have worked with me, there were about I think 12 in total that had worked with me through their Facebook group growth, use this checklist, and it has been phenomenal. Also, with a Facebook group, and why you need one and it's easier for your business, is that it is easy to maintain. So if you have a Facebook group, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you can just look at mine. So at the top, there's a banner and it tells you what the group is. You can also, if you use Canva, tell things that are upcoming in the group. You can also, where it says like about, description, announcements, you can pin emergency or top rated content in your announcements. You can add events just like you would on a website, and you don't have to worry about all the links in the back end. You just set it up right there in Facebook. You can send out an invite to everyone. It will go through to their profile. You can make posts about it. You can share it multiple times in your group. It is very easy to maintain because there is so much that you can do with a Facebook group that it is not overwhelming. I personally like to do daily posts or my power post every single day, and that just helps to boost the engagement in my Facebook group. If you want a list of the power posts that I have, then just DM me or put it down in the comments and I'll be happy to send you the link. And also what I use in Facebook group is just like this, showing up live. So I schedule events well in advance. I don't have my planner, but I can tell you what size it's about. That's my planner from last year, but I have it's a little bit bigger than this. Oh, hang on, I'm so sorry, I cannot see myself. It's a little bit bigger than this, and it's like 3 times as thick. It's like this thick. It's really a book. And from that, I schedule out events in advance so that I know for sure what is coming up. And then when I schedule them into the group. So stay tuned because something happening next week. And also, wait, I'm 2 weeks ahead. I'm 2 weeks ahead of myself. So next week is our CEO welcome party. That is something that I've already scheduled under events. So go check that out. But the week after that, something is coming. So be on the lookout for a post that goes live later today, because if you have a business, if you are a solopreneur, I really would like to talk to you. But you'll see that it comes out in about 6 hours. But when I say a Facebook group is easy to maintain, so if or in social media, you can schedule out content. So on Facebook groups, you can schedule it out too. And Facebook groups are growing. They grow each and every day. I know just a couple months ago when I was scheduling out posts, I like literally scream cackle like, ah! Like that, excuse my noise, that Facebook groups, now you can schedule out content more than 30 days in advance. So that gives me more time to schedule content so that I can focus on other things as well and not worry about, did I post today? Am I sure? I don't know, stuff like that. But Facebook groups are very easy to maintain. As long as you are posting and you can create an event and you know how to operate Zoom, you're totally fine. And you're golden and you have a business. So also from Facebook groups. So some of you, probably most of you, I have invited here to the group, but as some have came in, they have found my Facebook group. So Facebook groups, you can also click by sharing the link. So under settings, and this is in the Facebook group checklist as well, you can change your Facebook group name to match in your URL. And you can take that URL, instead of having it all the numbers, you can take that nice little pretty URL and share it. You can share it on your Instagram. If you are using Clubhouse, there's a new app that's coming out called Wisdom app that I'm on. I'm going to be a coach, that you can share it on there too. More details about that because that is coming out soon. And by soon, I mean within the next 30 days. You can share on any type of social media. If you're on TikTok, if you're on like your own personal Facebook, you can actually edit it to where it says your website and use your Facebook group as your link. But this is all in the Facebook group checklist. So make sure you download that and check it out. And also I saved this one for last because I wanted to show you. So this is why I am so hyped about Facebook groups. Because as a solopreneur, one of my things is to actually make money. And at the beginning of building my business, I was told that that was wrong. Like that should not be one of your goals. I'm sorry, but aren't we all here to make money in building a business? If you're not building a business, you just have an expensive hobby. And I really don't like, there's tons of other things that I could spend that money on and have a better expensive hobby like skydiving or glass blowing, having adventures of myself. That would be my expensive hobby. But since we are building a business and the goal is to make money, and there's like a lot of other things, like I want to have financial wealth and generational wealth and to be able to, I know I already do this, but nap when I want to while I'm building a business, and it's phenomenal and it's great. But don't let anyone tell you that having a money goal for your business is wrong. I was told that at the beginning. And now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you, because this is one of my goals and it's very important to me because I like eating. I like going on adventures. What if I want to spend, 10 months at the beach? I got to afford that shit somehow. So let's make some money. And also it's fun. I love seeing, I'm a nerd. So I really love seeing money so that I can pay my bills. One of my goals in life that I want to accomplish before I'm 30, I'm 27 now. So I got a little less than 3 years because my birthday's in a couple months. But I want to have all of my bills automated and do that without, second guessing myself. Like, can I afford this? Can I pay for this? Do I have enough money? Did all the transactions go through? Let me look at my bank account. I don't want to do that. That is one of my goals. So that's why I say that making money is one of my top goals among many others. But this is what I wanted to show you. The power of Facebook groups. Now, if you are already on my email list for Women Podcast Together, you may have seen this. If you have, I'm going to show you again because it's amazing and it makes me almost cry every time. I'm going to try to hold it in and not cry. So last year, in the year 2020, I did not have a Facebook group. I had started out my business, started as a blog. That started with Let's Try Adulting. That's my very first podcast, my pride and baby, my joy. If you look for it, it has the rainbow tree and it's Let's Try Adulting. It's phenomenal. I crack myself up all the time. I'm the person that I needed when I was going through, well, I'm still going through adulthood. While I was entering into the prime cusp of adulthood. But we started off as a blog and then we progressed into a podcast because I found that I could speak a lot faster than I could write. I'm very hard on writing when it comes to myself and critiquing, but I knew that I could speak a lot faster than I could write. And it started off as a blog because I saw someone else who was an anonymous blogger and they were making money as an anonymous blogger. You mean to tell me I don't have to put my face out there or my voice or anything of my own personality? As an introvert, that was very appealing. And now as an introvert, I'm like, let's just do all the crazy stuff. Let's just get on live and just do video. And you can see all my craziness, like see my hands everywhere. But from that, this has also helped me with my introvertedness, having a Facebook group as well. But with Let's Try Adulting, moving from a blog to a podcast. And then I was like, you know what? I would like to have a community around this. So then in August, of last year, I think it was like August or September of last year, Let's Try Adulting has its first Facebook group. Had no idea what I was doing. I was just inviting people and just like posting just random stuff. Right now, the Facebook group is not running. It is paused because I focused on the next thing that came, was Project Podcast. So when I actually started diving into business building and dipped my little toes in there and got comfortable, this is what I made last year in the terms of building a business. And to some people, this might not be like, Jakara, that's not a lot of money. But keep in mind, I earned this money on my own self without working for someone else, and I'm so fucking proud. And wait till you get to the other number. So this one, oh, let me make sure you can see it in the screen. Oh, it's backwards. $69.57. Come on, mirror. I don't know how to write backwards, or else I would be that person to write it correctly so that you could read it. But $69.57. Oh, okay, never mind. It's not backwards. It's not backwards. Okay. I'm looking at myself on Zoom, so I make sure that nothing goes wrong and keep moving back to Facebook. But it wasn't backwards. $69.57. The best first income of money that I have really enjoyed, because like I said, it's for myself, my brain, my own business. And that is with podcasting. So a few days before my birthday, I had actually got my first coaching, and I had screamed because I had just put it out there, and then someone had immediately like scheduled and bought it like within 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a lot of money. It was $25. That $25 really pushed me and propelled me forward to saying, Jakara, you got this. You got this shit. Like, come on, let's go. So this is why I say that the amount of money that I have earned in 2021, while still, it's not a really big deal, but to me, it is a very big deal. So I never thought that I would make over $100 from my business. And I did that at the beginning of this year. We crossed over fully into $100. But year to date, I tallied this up last night. So I'm so fucking proud, but it makes me want to cry at the same time. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this amount of money is great to me. So we crossed over into 4 figures. Let's just put it that way. We are $24 and some change away from the next $1,000 mark. And I'm so excited. This is fun to me. Building a business is fun. So this is the amount that I earned this year so far, year to date, as of August 26th at 12:25 Central, because I know some people will like to know the exact time, because I am also that person. So this is how much I've earned so far: $2,974.55. I'm not gonna cry. But from that, it has given me so much power and like so much empowerment. I know those two similar words, but not the same. So it's different. And also with building my confidence. Like I said, I am an introvert. I'm a whole ass introvert out here. I just I crack myself up with the daily on my podcast and things that I do with my clients, with the students. Like, we even have the Your Podcast Your Story Q&A tonight. And we have a co-working session tonight, and you bet your ass I will still match the same damn energy. Like, I might need to go like calm down for a second, but I will still have the same energy. I love matching energy into my Facebook groups. I love matching energy with my clients and matching energy with myself. But I wanted to show you those two as well. So I'm going to hold them up side by side and then really tell you, this is why all you need for your business, as I drop my sticky note, is a Facebook group. So let's hold them up side by side. Hang on. Very tight. Look at that. Ooh, are you in the light? You are in the light. I'm gonna hold it still. I'm trying not to dance so you can see. So no one can say that I'm lying. And the one thing that helped me to remember this goal and stay on track, and what also makes me almost cry every single day, is the fact that I have a giant whiteboard. You can't see it, but you see back here, there is a calendar that's taped and that I need to redo, and it has sticky notes and stuff on it. But I recently, my other half got me a whiteboard, and it's huge. It's like 4x6. And I have to, like, it's 4x6 this way, and I have to lean it up this way on the wall because it's just too big and it's too heavy, and it has a tray and everything. And listen, we are here for these building business games. It's amazing. Oh, hi Gina. Yes, you can totally rewatch the beginning later. Absolutely. But from a Facebook group, this has allowed me to grow so much as a person, to grow so much as a business owner, to grow so much as a solopreneur, because in the beginning, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And sometimes I still feel like that, but that's what new things that I learned. Like there's some things that I know I don't know, and I know I won't know until I get there. And I'm totally fine with that. But I'm here to tell you that as an introvert, as a woman, as a busy woman, doesn't matter what it is that's going on in your life, you can absolutely build a fucking business. Last year, I was working a whole full-time ass job and hated it. I went to work, like it still took me like an hour to get to work almost every single day. Leave the house at like 6 or 7, would not come back, like actually leaving the place at like 6 or 7, sometimes 8, depends on what we had to do that day, sometimes 9 or 10 or 11 because we had programs. And as a program director, I did not have time for myself, but at the same time, I still had a business. I was in the blogging stage of building. And then when I actually left that role and then left more of the corporate world, by corporate, I mean working for somebody else so that you can earn them money and not actually you earning money yourself. That's what I mean by corporate, in case anyone gets confused. But leaving the corporate world and actually stepping into it, even made money even before leaving my corporate world job. And that's the thing that's like, okay, that's $69.57. That was my leap of faith. You know, you telling me I just made a good $70. Okay, well, let's keep going. And now we are at $3,000. And like I tell you, I was not the type of person that thought it would get over 100 because I stopped and started so many things in my life. Like the only other thing that I have finished in life before going on the adventure journey, besides like traditional things like university and like grade school and maybe some vegetables, I wrote a fan fiction like years ago. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's still out there. It's not under my name either, so you can't find it. But I wrote a fan fiction for one of the books that I had really liked as I was growing up in middle school, and I had just abandoned it. And I was like, okay, Jakara, like at that time, I knew I wanted a business. There was not even a blog, Let's Try Adulting. There was the name, but there was nothing else. And I knew, like, Jakara, if you want to, thank you, if you want to have a business, you have to actually finish something, at least one thing that that you started. So, however painstakingly it was, I finished that fan fiction. I may share it one day because it's totally embarrassing, but I mean, I'm proud that I finished it, but how it's written, yeah. Like I said, I'm the worst critic of writing for myself. That's why I'm a podcaster. I'd rather speak and then like transcribe it and then look at it before anything else. But why you should have a Facebook group and why that's the only thing that you need for your business is because you can go from making $70, having no idea what the fuck you're doing, to making almost $3,000. We're $24 away from $3,000. I want to know what exactly we are away from $3,000. Hang on, give me a second. But you don't need a website to start a Facebook. Oh, sorry, you don't need a website to start a business. You don't need a website to even start a Facebook group, honestly. And if you have no other forms of social media, you're already here on Facebook. Let's make your Facebook group. But to set up your Facebook group, or if you want to just restructure your Facebook group settings, my Facebook group checklist is down in the comments, and that is what I've used to structure 5. I think I counted 5 earlier. 5 of my Facebook groups. And from that, like 2 of them are from memberships, not memberships, from programs. One is just the Women Podcast Together. The other one is this one. And then Let's Try Adulting, which is not currently up and running at the time. But let's figure out what this is. $974.55 minus $320. Oh, I'm a little under $25. Let me write this down. $25.45. That's how much we are away from $3,000. And I'm excited. I love building businesses because this is actually my passion. And like I love podcasting. And if you're from Women Podcast Together, don't worry. I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving you, like ladies. I promise. I almost said lads. Don't know where that came from. But I promise I'm not leaving that one. This is just another new adventure because over the past few months, I have found that I've been actually coaching women into business as well. And I was like, you know what? I have all the tools and resources, been doing this for a couple months. Let's make another Facebook group. And that's why we're here. So If you have any questions about our Facebook group, feel free to put them down in the comments. I will be on here for just a few more minutes because it is almost lunchtime. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I get really hungry, I get angry. At least that's how it was kind of last night. I was so hungry because I had not really eaten all day. And it wasn't for the lack of trying. I tried. I was just so hungry. And I'm just like, fuck, I gotta go move my car. Then I gotta go drive. I was just, but once those fries hit my stomach, it was fantastic. So I'm going to get off and go for lunch soon. But if you have any questions about your Facebook group or how to set it up or anything, even if you have a question about podcasting, I mean, and we have a whole group for that one, but just put it down in the comments. Okay, I see some. Yes, you can totally watch from the beginning later. As soon as like when I end and it uploads, it should be there, but it will be marked under announcements so that you can watch it as well. And you're hilarious. I tell you, I crack myself up all the time. Like this is coming from an introvert. I crack myself up all the time when I go live from my podcast. I just recorded one yesterday for a very super secret thing that I'm not sure when it's going to be coming out, but I just recorded an episode yesterday and I could not sit still yesterday. I had so much energy. It's like, you know what? I think this is saying that I need to podcast. And that's what I was telling the beasties earlier yesterday. It's like, I have so much energy. This means I need to podcast. And that episode had no notes. And I just like in true Jakara fashion of Let's Try Adulting, we wung it. We winged it. Correct the grammar. And I think it's a bomb ass episode for what I want to do of the thing that is coming. So stay tuned because we got it. And no, it's it's not another podcast. I know some people probably have that. We are just revamping a podcast. Let's just put it that way. We are revamping a podcast. But I'm excited. But this is your live of why you need a Facebook group for your business. If you don't have a website, no problem. Just set up a Facebook group. You can start to build your ideal clients and gather them into a nice community that you run and that has your energy and heart that's poured into it as well. You can find your ideal clients or your audience or your ideal people. It's very, very easy to set up. The Facebook group checklist is down in the comments. It is very easy to maintain. I like doing daily posts. Those are my power posts, and those just help with engagement and stuff. So I know where people at. And oftentimes it has funny questions in there too. You'll see some of those coming up. And you can also schedule out content in your Facebook group. You can share your Facebook group link. And also, don't forget, this is what I made without a Facebook group last year. This is what I've made with a Facebook group this year. And those numbers may not mean anything to you, but they mean everything to me. And this is it. If you don't have a Facebook group, you really need one. If you want to have a business and have a community, even if it's just a free Facebook group and you're just building community for when you're ready to put out your thing that you are launching as a solopreneur, whether it be a course or a product or, you know, like a coaching or something, that you have those people that are ready and those people already know you and they already like you and they already trust you and they're just sitting there on the edge of their seats, like scooting closer as I scoot closer and almost break my leg, but they're scooting closer literally. And it's like, okay, so what are you doing? What are you selling? Because I'm ready. And they will show that. Let me scoot back a little bit. They kind of hurt. But I just wanted to show the difference of what it can make of you having your Facebook group. So if you have a Facebook group and you're like, Jakara, I would really like to grow more. What are these power posts that you speak of? How do you schedule out your content? What do you even do for events? Like, how did you put this all together? Then feel free to reach out and DM me. Excuse me. So sorry. Taking in so much air. But feel free to reach out and DM me or put it down in the comments and I will DM you because I'm here for the Facebook groups. Like I said towards the beginning, if one of your goals is to build a business and it is to actually make money, which that should not be a bad goal, don't let anyone tell you that that is a horrible goal, then I highly suggest Facebook groups and highly suggest learning from someone else as well. All right, so if there are no questions about the Facebook group, next week we have the Welcome to CEO Knit party. It's the welcome party. And I know you might Jakara, aren't you going a little backwards? No, because I knew the welcome party I wanted to start on the first, but I knew I wanted to have something else that was interactive as well. So when we start our welcome party, make sure you show up for the welcome party because there's going to be some things going on in the welcome party. Because, well, I'm excited. Bring your own drinks, bring your own bottle, bring your own wine, bring your own food. It is literally a party. It's at 7 p.m. Central. It is under announcements. It is pinned there. It is also under events. So make sure you add it to your calendar because I'm ready to go. Like, we could have it today, but I don't think everybody's prepared. I'm prepared if you can't tell. All right, my friends. So I hope that was helpful on those that you have came in. If you want to start a business and if you don't have a website, or a few things that you can do, again, the Facebook group checklist is down in the comments, and this is what I use to set up my Facebook groups and what I've used to set up all of mine so far, including this one, including Women Podcast Together, and that's the one that has grossed almost over $3,000. I'm already claiming it. It's going to be $3,000. It's already, because that's literally like one more thing. All right. So I'm going to get off because I feel like I'm rambling and I feel like my braids are going together and I need to eat lunch. So make sure if you want to watch the beginning of this to go back and watch it and show up for the welcome party. I'm excited. You're going to see a lot of more of my excitementness coming through this group. Yes, I love it. All right, ladies, have a super fantastic Thursday. If you have any questions, comment down below or just reach out to me in the DMs. I will totally answer you. I don't mind. I actually love connecting with people in DMs. That's how I found like a lot of people that I genuinely connect with as well. And if you're saying, well, Jakara, I'm an introvert, I am too. I am too. Just send me an emoji and I'll know that you're an introvert and I'll send one back and start the conversation. I love asking questions. So that may be the one thing that may be annoying to you is that I always ask questions. Okay. But I hope you have a super amazing 30. Jeez, have a super amazing Thursday and happy baby Friday. Okay, ladies, I will talk to you soon. And if you are in Women Podcast Together, we have our pod news this Saturday. And if you're interested in podcasting, you should join Women Podcast Together. It is linked to this group, or you can DM me and I'll get you in as well. All right, ladies, have a good, happy baby Thursday. Bye.